Hey, what's up everybody? Jeremy here. Welcome back to another episode of Next Level Students. This is episode 58 and I'm really excited. This episode is sponsored again by the students at Malvern High School there in Malvern, Arkansas. All right, so let's jump this episode off. Let's get it. All right, question number one. What you got?
Hi Jeremy, my name is Rose and I'm from Malvern High School in Malvern, Arkansas. My question is, how can I inspire my friends to achieve great things?
Okay. So what's up, Rose? So here's the reality. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to you aspiring your friends to do great things, it's almost like you can plant seeds. Does that make sense? It's like you plant seeds for them to be great, but you can't make them be great. You plant seeds and hopefully like your name, they grow and bloom like a beautiful rose. You like how I did that? You know what I'm saying? Like you encourage your kids, you encourage your friends, you speak life to your friends, you pour into your friends, you redirect them, you challenge them, you hold them accountable. That's ways you can push them to greatness. But you can't make nobody be great. All you can do is let them know that they have that potential within them. So I believe that when you speak life to them, I believe that when you're encouraging, I believe that when you're positive and you challenge them, you redirect them, you bring out the best in them naturally. And that's how you push them towards the greatness. And then at the same time, you push yourself towards greatness. And as you're doing great things and you're aspiring to do amazing things and you begin to grow to the next level, you encourage them to do the same thing, right? And so here's the hard part. It might get to a point. Don't be surprised if you look up in a year or 2 or 5 and you've outgrown some of your friends. Because sometimes that's what happens. You can have a group of friends that you love, you know what I'm saying? But it's like because of the decisions that y'all make, y'all might end up going 2 different paths. There's people I went to school with from elementary school and middle school and high school that I love to this day, but we're not kicking it every day. We're not talking every day because we're on 2 different paths. Some of them didn't choose education. They wanted to do something different. And I'm like, yo, I can't make you come with me. Like we all have a choice. So I believe that if you make the choice to speak life, to encourage, to affirm them, but then you also practice what you preach and you be the best you can do, look, you're going to go from one level to the next level to the next level. And we're going to look up and see you at the top. Great question, Rose. What y'all got next? Talk to me.
Hi Jeremy, Zach Owens from Malvern High School, and my question today is, what leader politically or educationally motivated you or you looked up to?
Yeah, so what leader politically or just in general, do I look up to? There are several, beyond, policies and, what people might say about certain presidents. There was something special when it came to the poise, the character, the empathy, the respect, that was brought to the White House when President Barack Obama was in office. So I've got a lot of respect for him. People might disagree with his policies, but the way that he treated people, with love and respect, the way that he carried himself, there was a certain level of dignity and class that was in the White House. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one person I would say. Dr. Cornel West is someone that I met and I've got a lot of love and respect for when it comes to, his message of unity and peace and politics. And so for me, I don't necessarily focus on what people say, but I look at their actions and what they do and how they treat people. So that's what I would say. But bigger than that, I want to be the type of person that leads with love and honor and respect. I want to be the type of person that says, man, Jeremy was a great leader. Jeremy never divided us. Jeremy was negative, never negative. Jeremy never called people names. Jeremy took ownership. Jeremy was able to apologize. Jeremy was able to admit when he was wrong. Jeremy always told the truth. Jeremy always kept his word. Like more than that, I want to be known for being that type of person. I want to be known for having that type of heart, for having that type of spirit. I want to be the type of person that adds more than takes away. It's better to give than to receive. So I would challenge you and everybody else is watching this to really ask yourself, like, what kind of leader are you going to be? People might not always agree with your agenda. They might not always agree with your policy. They might not always agree with, with the legislation that you put in. They might not always agree with the ways that you would do things, but how you treat people and how you make them feel and the way that you operate with class and integrity, like character, that's key. And so I look to leaders where I ask them, like, are you even a morally right person? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you keep your word? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you honest? How do you treat other people? Do you call them names? Are you mean? Are you divisive? Or do you operate with love and integrity? And so that's what I look at. And I want to be the type of person where people say, you know what? I might not agree with everything Jeremy says, but he pushes love. He pushes unity. He's a kind person. He keeps his word. I see how he treats people. He can respectfully disagree with others. Like, that's the type of leaders that we need. And I do the work I do in the educational space because I want you all to be those type of leaders. You all are our future. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are our future, you know what I'm saying, city council members and our future educators and our future attorneys. You all are the future, you know what I'm saying, politicians that's going to be running this country. And I hope that the character and the foundation that you have today will be something that our country can stand on in the future. All right, great question, Zach. Last question. What you got?
Hi, Jeremy. My name is Nicholas Demopoulos from Malvern High School in Malvern, Arkansas. My question is, why do students feel like they don't need to put much effort into their education?
Wow. Okay. So Nick, you calling me out because I didn't put much effort into my education. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I did not value education. I felt like education was boring. I felt like it was dumb. Like, why do I gotta come to school? You know what I'm saying? Like, how am I even gonna apply this stuff? I didn't realize that I would apply some of it later. Some of it was the principle. It was the discipline I need to have. I didn't value it, which is why I went, Nicholas, in case you didn't know, 3 different schools for the 9th grade. Oakwood, Johnson, Huntsville High. I went to 3 different schools. I kept getting kicked out and failing. I went to 3 different schools for the 9th grade, but I finally got to a point where I realized I got a group of teachers who don't have to be here, but they keep showing up every single day for me. They must actually do care about me. So maybe I'm not an accident. Maybe there is a purpose for my life. Oh, I can go on and do great things. Oh, that's possible. I started to believe in what they were telling me, and I began to believe in myself and the possibilities. And then I realized, okay, well, if I want to live this type of lifestyle and I want to get to this point in life, what's going to be the thing that I have to do? I realized it was education. When I looked at all the successful people that was living life on their own terms, traveling the world, doing amazing things, I looked at one common thing. They all finished high school and then did different types of schools after that, right? They all got to a point where they said, I have to value what I put inside of here. So I realized if I really want to go there, then I've got to focus on this right here. What does that mean for you? There are students all across the country, all across America who do value education, and then they're going places. But then there are people where they might not value education because maybe in their home or their community where they grew up, education wasn't the top priority. So we got to be cautious, Nicholas, right? Because you have some people that be like, how come they don't value education? Well, had we grew up in their home or in their community and maybe their parents only got to a certain point, that might not be a really high value system. Whereas opposed to some of us can be born in families where our mom and dads got married in college, fell in love, had really great money, built a house, and then planned to have us and instilled that within us. So sometimes the lack of value of education either comes from us and our values and what we haven't been exposed to, or maybe some deeper internal thoughts that we might have about ourselves. I come across students all the time. I'm like, yeah, I know you might say I'm dyslexic, or, you know what I'm saying, I struggle with, you know what I'm saying, reading, or, you know what I'm saying, I have ADHD. They have all these excuses. I'm like, look, it might take you longer. You might have a more challenging time, but you can figure this thing out. You can learn. You can be a scholar. I told myself before when I was young, I was like, yo, they might be outsmarter than me. They might outsmart me. They might be highly intelligent with a super high IQ, but they're not gonna outwork me. So when everybody else is playing video games and hanging out and riding with their boys and going to the mall, I'm studying, I'm reading. The words I don't know, I'm gonna do the research. Why? So I can get better. So now when you look at some of the life I'm living, and then the school body president and the VP and all the other people that I was in school with, I'm on the same level or higher when it comes to like income and impact. Hear me clearly, right? Because I got to a point where I said I might not be as smart as you, but I'm gonna put forth that work. You know what I'm saying? And I began to operate with a spirit of excellence. I began to get to a point where I said, you know what? I want to do the best I can do for me and my family and others in the future. I began to value that. I began to value education. So for all of you that might not value education, for all of you that feel like school is boring, why do I gotta be here? Okay, so what you wanna do? You wanna go home and play video games? Where's it gonna get you? Eventually you're gonna have to move out your parents' house. Eventually you're gonna have to do something with your life. You're gonna try to get a job at Target or Walmart for the rest of your life. Do you wanna do something better? I know there are some students I work with real closely. They're like, Jeremy, I'm doing the best I can, but nobody in my family went to college. Nobody in my family really has really great jobs. They all kind of just have jobs just kind of barely getting by. And I get that because of, you know, their situation. I'm like, but that don't have to be your story. I believe every generation should get better and better and better. Like I know students right now, their parents might work like at Target, or they might work like at fast food or work at some factory, barely getting by $8, $9, $10, $12 an hour, but they're doing the best that they can to provide for their children, but they're telling their children, you can do better. You can go to college. You can go to a trade school. You can go to the military. You can do something amazing with your life. And so I think it all comes down to our value system and our belief system. Do you believe that you can be a scholar? Do you believe that you can be amazing? Do you believe that education can be the platform that can put you before anybody across the globe? And I'll tell you right now, I've met some amazing people. I've met some awesome celebrities and some very powerful politicians, some really, really amazing people I've met in my life. I'm looking at the circles that I'm in, and it all came from me living a life of excellence, doing the best I can, but more importantly, valuing education. So that's what happened. After 3 schools for the 9th grade, I kept failing. I finally got it together, and I put that work in, and I caught up with my right grade, graduated from high school on time, went to college and got a bachelor's degree in social work. Then I went to grad school and got a master's degree. And because I was such a prolific reader and writer, even though I wasn't when I was your age, I got better because practice makes permanent, not perfect. We can't be perfect, but practice makes permanent, and I became to be a really good reader and writer. I wrote my first book, and I became a published author, and now I'm the published author of 8 books, and we got SEL, social emotional learning curriculums in schools all over the country. Like some of my classmates from time to time send me messages like, dude, I'm so proud of you. I remember when. And I'm like, yeah, but I ain't that person no more. Why? Because I valued education, because I valued my life, and I valued those who showed up at the school every single day to pour into me, to speak life to me, to encourage me, to challenge me, to redirect me. I valued my name. I told my family, like, yo, I'm carrying y'all's last name. I need to hold it down. I need to respect y'all. I need to make sure I put some respect on your name. I need to make sure that I'm representing my family, and I want y'all to do the exact same thing. It's been great hanging out with y'all, man. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I hope y'all learned a lot from these questions. Great questions. And Malvern, hey, look, I can't wait to be back there with y'all real soon. And to all my students, all my next levelers across the country and across the globe, I'll see y'all next week. Let's get it. Hey, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode, and I wanted to share 2 quick things with you before you get back to class. For one, I want more videos from students just like you. So with your parents' approval, your school's approval, email those questions to me directly from your phone to info@jeremyanderson.org. It's right there on the screen, info@jeremyanderson.org. Send me your questions, and you could be the next student that we feature in our video series. Also, to every teacher, counselor, and administrator watching this video, we've released our all-new updated Next Level Students character curriculum. We've got a K-12 social and emotional learning curriculum that focuses on the whole child that is sure to be a game changer for your school. So visit nextlevelstudents.org and find out more information about our curriculum, and we're here to help take your school to the next level.